And we are live, Jeffrey. Boys and girls, what's going on out there in what's the right shot land? I think it's a place on the internet.
It's in the ethereal abyss. It's
The
around us. It's
the
all
ethereal.
around us.
I see the ethereal abyss. I'm going to write that down. I can't spell any of it, but I'm going to write it down and know that's what's going on. I'm
It's
still
very
in
rare.
still a little bit of uh, depression mode from 49er game, but I'll get over that. I
I
think.
think you get out there, you put the feet on the grass this morning. I think
Okay,
you'll start to
I'll be
ease my
okay.
way out of it. Ease my way out
Yeah.
of it.
Just kind of go, hey, next year, boys. Next year is a pretty good run. Um, guys, yeah, I pre-recorded the last 3 days because I was traveling Saturday, Sunday, Monday up in Northern California. Got back yesterday, back to the desert. Beautiful down here. Wow. And just, then you drive in Mission Hills Country Club, you go past the grass courts and you go, oh, thank you. Thank you.
There it is.
There it is.
Morning, Rich.
Hey, Rich. What's up there, Lefty? Yeah, I saw Rich Sunday morning. We had a meeting up there for the Pacific Coast Senior Tournament Committee.
Yeah, cool.
And we got some great ideas, man. We're going to make this such a player-friendly concierge level. I mean, I'm not sure this level's ever been done before. Maybe Wimbledon. Okay, that's a little hypey, I guess, but what the heck? Anyway.
Hey, but we've had Wimbledon champs walk through the doors of the BTC.
Oh,
So let's not, come on. We've got the energy and the history is there.
why not?
Why not?
Why
Call
the
it what
heck?
it is.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, let's get into this, Jeff. I got a little hypey title to it, the perfect poach, which is fine. And what we're going to look at today, guys, is a match played several years ago. This is the 70 hard courts, the doubles. Gets the number one team in the world. I'm playing with my buddy in the blue there. I'm serving. I guess Chris is in blue. I don't know, some dark color. Chris Morgan from Mill Valley. And as I said in the email this morning, I mean, he's just got a nose for the ball in terms of the poach. But anyway, we're playing against number one team in the world with Paul Wolf, Lenny Wofford. And this is an interesting time to poach where right here. So before we get into it, look, every afternoon, guys, at 2:30, I'm doing the Tennis Mindset Project, which is just a little tidbit on what maybe didn't work for me mentally, mindset-wise, and what has worked for me over the last 18 months, which has resulted in 9 national titles in 15 months, which I guess it's okay. I don't know.
You might have some insight.
Yeah. Inside the ethereal abyss, a little insight.
Have a little insight.
All right. So anyway, guys, I go live. I didn't the last 3 days because of the traveling thing, but usually it's live. 2:30 Pacific is the time. And yeah, we go for 10, 12, 15 minutes, something like that. Sometimes a little tough love, Jeff, to say, maybe like me, you were in total denial forever on the mental part of the game, and it's got a little bit of importance. I could be wrong. I don't think so. And then the other thing is, look, I've had enough requests recently for the fitness thing. What is my routine in the gym? I've got scheduled today to do a little video shoot in the gym to show you exactly what I do in there. And I've already done a video on what I do outside in terms of the sprints and why I do the sprints the way that I do them to help see the ball a lot more clearly when you're on the move. So I'm going to put that together. And then the other tough love part is that if you are carrying around extra poundage, that for some reason, this mental part, it doesn't get in there and make any sense. I can't get it in there and go, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, why not carry around an extra 17-pound bag of sand on your back? And okay, again, the ethereal abyss, Jeff is just speechless on this one. So I don't blame you. Anyway, so I'm putting together a course. I'm putting together, it's not even a course. It's here's what I do. And I'm going to talk about the gym work that I do. I'm going to talk about the on-court work I do. And then I'm going to talk about what I eat, what I don't eat. It's not controversial. Everyone's got to figure out for themselves what's best. But for me, it's pretty much how low inflammatory can I go? Because inflammation for tennis players, especially if you're trying to get better, is no bueno, is no good.
Right.
So look, if you've got an interest in this thing, just shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. Jeff, let's take a look at this point. And then I'm going to get your feedback on Chris's, what I think is the perfect poach. I'm just going to run it through short and there you have it.
There you have it.
Yeah, it's nothing fancy.
Pretty
and
simple.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. And to me, it's mostly about what have you shown these guys up to this point? I mean, maybe there was a situation earlier in the match where you showed a big old fake poach and you just got them thinking, maybe you trained them to think that that's all I do is I fake poach. And now at some point you just kind of decide, all right, could Paul go up the line here? Yeah, he could.
Could.
Can we cover 100% of the court? No. So I think it's an educated guess.
Without a doubt.
And then at that point, if you're going to go, you know what you have to do? You got to fully, unbelievably commit and just go. And if you lose the point because you get maybe just the ball is an extra 2 inches away from you,
I mean,
that's just the way it is.
Chris is fully extended there. I mean, he makes a great committed move. He's going, right? I think, Paul, that's Paul Wolf that made the return, right?
That's right.
There. So, I mean, look where he's got to pick that ball up. You did a great job on getting that ball back, hard cross court down there. He's low, right? So here, if he decides to go up the line, he's got to bring the ball up. Not a great choice.
Right.
So he's a journeyman baller, right? So at this stage, I don't know where you are in the match, but he's going, I'm just going to play journeyman here. I'm going to send it back to Brent. And Chris, I think, I like his position there in the middle of the service box, splitting the service box as opposed to splitting the whole half of the court. I'm a huge proponent of your initial position should be splitting the service box, not worrying about half the court. Give up 2-3 feet off the line.
Well, he knows that if Paul lobs here,
I'm
going to go get it. I'm going to cover for him. And this whole notion that, or this advice, well, you got to cover the lobs over your head. Well, if that's what you have to do, then you're never going to be in position to poach ever. Right. Yeah. Ever.
And he times it well, and he commits all the way. I love the fact that he takes the ball right down the heart of the court. He doesn't hit it at the quote net guy. I think that process, you watch it all the time. People get the high volley and they're going to hit it at the net guy.
Right.
Stop it.
Yeah.
The easiest volley in the world to hit is a reflex volley. It's frightening at times, but it is actually your response is very clean most of the time. You reflex, the racket squares, and the ball's back on top of you before you know it. I'd say in my career, I've probably won more exchanges in a reflex volley exchange than I've lost when someone's gone at me and I can put a racket on the ball. I'm going to say I'm at better than 50%.
I agree. I mean, it's just
because
a lot of it's attitude. A lot of it is attitude that you just assume it's coming at you. That's okay.
But I love the fact that Chris just takes it down the heart. Why? I don't need to hit it at anybody. Why would I hit it at somebody that has a piece of equipment that says they can hit it back?
Yeah, no, it makes no sense. Well, look,
no sense at all.
You brought up a good point. He's right in the middle of the box, right? I think one thing that if you are going to poach, and we said you got to be 100% committed, one of the ways to be 100% committed, if you look at where Chris ends up, where his momentum finishes, he's a foot or so away from the net. So he's really kind of taking this at a little bit of an angle moving in, not just going parallel to the net.
Right.
And I think too many players kind of hedge their bet a little bit by going parallel rather than rather than going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And that obviously that when you're doing that, angling toward the net, and it doesn't matter how soft that angle is. I mean, as long as you're making that move, you're actually catching the ball, you're cutting it off before it can get past you. The more
But I think it
laterally,
also, I think Jeff also is that if you have a little bit of an angle towards the net and not go parallel, you've got a little forward momentum that helps you in this where you
right,
get stretched out. And now you've got a little strength there to
right.
just give it a
Yeah,
country boy strong shove into the middle.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
The other thing too is on the geometry side, when you move laterally, you're picking the ball up at the farthest possible point from you.
Exactly.
It's just simple math.
Yeah.
Right. And so that little bit of forward momentum as you're coming across, just it makes a huge difference, you know.
So talk about the timing because everyone, you get this question like, well, when do I know to go? And first of all, you know to go because you've decided for whatever reason, there's no formula. You decided this is a ball that you're going to poach on. But at some point, you have to leave at a moment where you're assuming that Paul's looking down at the ball.
Yeah,
And that's about it. I mean, look, if you were to leave right now, would Paul see it? I think so.
yeah. And he's got
So
bracket control. He's just gonna little inside out carve on the forehand
yeah,
down the line, and you're done.
is he looking at the ball now? Yeah, I think he's looking down at the ball. I mean, it's
Yeah,
only a couple feet away from his racket. And so I think Chris has just figured he's not going to see me now.
yeah, yeah.
So
Times it perfect, makes a great move. And here's the big thing too. If you're not comfortable with poaching, you can do as many clinics and doubles drills and blah 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 all you want until you go play practice sets, until you stand there and make the mistake of going too early too often, too late too often. You have to figure this out. There's no, again, we always talk about, Brent, there's no exact formula. Players have different timing in their take back and swing, right? So the guy that you're playing in the deuce side is different, has different timing in his stroke than the guy playing on the ad side. So the timing is different, no different than getting the guy's service timing right, right? So you got to put yourself out there, and you've got to fail. You've got to make mistakes. You've got to do it and get in there and go, oh shit, excuse me, I took the ball at the net guy when I should have just put it down the center of the court. Duh. You have to do all this stuff and make the mistakes so you can build a database of getting it right. You're only going to get it right until you've messed up on I left too early, I left too late. Okay, so where is it in the middle there, right? And
right, yeah,
you just
exactly.
like you're
Well, I
and
think
you're
I think that's a good point. I think a lot of players don't want to learn by making mistakes and figuring out on their own. I think they want a formula, lockdown, fail-safe formula, and there just isn't one. I think the other thing too is that if we take it back to the beginning of this point, Jeff, is it an advantage when I'm serving? Is it an advantage for us to have my partner up in net? Why would it be more of an advantage to have him back in the baseline with me? Well, there's a reason that we have the service partner start up in net. And this is one of the reasons is because you can cut it off. The other thing is actually Chris does show a little bit of a little nudge,
yeah, a little nudge.
there. So I always tell people, look, you got to master the fake poach first. And once you get them distracted, well, I mean, you can't distract them if you're back in the baseline as a server's partner. You
No.
can only distract them if you're at this position here. And part of your job is not just poaching. Part of your job is attracting the ball to you because you've sold a guy, hey, I'm poaching. Oh, what? I'm not. I'm here. And they hit it to you. And now it's your job to do some damage with it.
Okay.
It's also your job to throw in a good enough fake sometimes that it's distracting enough, faking within the rules of the game, that worst case, it slows down that returner's return back to your partner and makes
Right.
it easier for your serving partner to handle that return.
Yeah.
So
can I add a layer of thought to the guy that has to hit the ball, right? Can I add a layer? Because it's the final layer of pressure before your opponent touches the ball. Your position on the court. Am I being active? Can I throw the fake in there? Now, recognize this. If you put in the fake, you should expect the ball.
Yeah.
I've seen guys fake and then like, oh, I didn't think he was going to hit it to me. Well, what are you talking about?
Right.
You faked. The whole idea was to draw him off the cross court and bring him to you because you're just standing there, right? So I think, there's so much nuance to it that unless you start participating and doing it, there is no way you're going to read something or get a tip on how to do it and figure it out, because it's always ultimately at the higher levels of the game, each player brings a nuance to how you have to handle it. Playing in Palm Springs 2 weeks ago, the final, I'd say I was pretty active. You were there. I was a pretty active, influence in what was going on, not only in poaching, but just me in establishing positions and forcing them to have to go someplace with the ball other than me. That was my activity, was about corralling the ball, and can I get them to move? Don't let Jeff hit it, to being their priority as opposed to a place on the court. And if I can move that team into that space, we're going to win a lot of points just with them hitting the ball wide or long or something else, because they've changed their thing because of my activity, because of my fake poach, because of my positioning.
So anyone who's, if your partner's serving, if your partner's returning serve, and you're just a stationary object, you're not helping. I mean, Jeff and I are not saying that you got to be poaching a lot, but you have to be moving a lot, and moving a lot could be a fake poach. Moving a lot could be a fake early and then poach. It could be just out and out. So there's a lot of different things that you can do to be disruptive. And if you're not doing that, and the other benefit too is what I think about the fake poach is that, look, it gets your feet moving, so that a ball that, even if you're not going to poach, if it's just a fake and the ball ends up in the middle, how many times has a ball just sizzled by you where you're kind of rooted and you go, oh, God dang it, I guess that was mine.
Yeah.
So the fake poach activates the feet, gets you going, and you're more likely to intercept that. Well, good stuff, guys.
Let me throw one more thing in here, because you can't stop me.
I know. Sorry.
I would say this: if when I'm warming up and we play, and all of a sudden we're going to start the match, and I've watched this player, who's across the net from me, whether they're the server's partner already at the net or the returner's partner. If I see that they've taken a position that is splitting the outside sideline with the center line, I am taking cuts. I see them as no threat, because they're giving up 4 feet of court already to the center of the court. Hope everybody gets that. And so I'm coming out taking my full cut on the return of serve, because they have such a long way to go to cover, to be an influence in what's going on. And so I always see that, and I talk to my partner. I say, hey, their position's kind of soft there. Take some cuts on your return. Let's see if we can break this open right now. Can we get a break right here? Right. So that position that Chris takes in this is exactly why you want to do that. Paul's aware of where Chris is, and you can see it on his return, how far he had to put you out there toward the sideline to make sure Chris didn't poach on the return of serve.
Yeah, that's right.
And how far did he have to get it over there so Chris isn't a threat, based on Chris's initial position? So that's a huge factor too in learning how to poach well, is your initial position and what you're showing.
Yeah, no, good stuff. Guys, look, would love to read your feedback, respond to it down below in the comments area. That would be cool. Maybe you got a question or two. If you want to keep it private, you can just shoot me an email, Brent@WebTennis.com. Jeff is over at Jeff@Jacklets365.com. Guys, if you love this today, go ahead and click that like button. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you get updated. And then finally, we sort of alluded in the beginning, the mindset stuff, the mental stuff, kind of important, kind of a deal. Stop being in denial about it. I was for a long time. And then I got my got my stuff together. And it's really, it really was the missing piece for my game. So I encourage you, if you've not taken a look yet, go over to webtennis.com/SLR5 habits and take a look at the course over there. Down below is the link. We'll take you directly over there. All right, Jeff, thanks, man. Appreciate it. And I guess that's it. I guess we're done. I think it's time. I think it's time to get out there and help someone else have a spectacular day.
Yeah, I'm looking up the mountain right now. I'm somewhere in Idaho, looking up a beautiful ski mountain.
So you're not in the, did you say the ethereal abyss?
I'm not in the ethereal abyss today. No, I'm actually at the base of Mount Baldy in Sun Valley. So.
Okay, very nice. Very nice. Good. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you again next time.
Right on.